Assalamualaikum guys, it's MiMi. Okay. Assalamualaikum guys, it's MiMi. How you doing? What's happening? Hopefully everything's good. Today I'm sick, but I wanted to make this video because well, I always see people talking about this and I kind of don't agree with what they think about this matter, but what I'm talking about today is getting married at a younger age. And the reason I'm talking about this is because, mashallah, by the will of Allah, I got married at a young age. I got married at 17, like right after I turned 17. Alhamdulillah. And right now I am 19 years old and I have been married for 2 years. So I think I can talk about this since, mashallah, my marriage is still kicking and still great. And from the perspective of a girl who has gotten married young, I don't think getting married young is like the root of all evil the way people act like it is. Like a lot of people, you know, when young Muslims are like asking for advice about getting married and they're like, oh, I'm 18 or blah 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 and I want to get married, like a lot of these people, other Muslims who are giving them advice are like, what? No, what are you saying? Are you crazy? 18 is so young. Okay, to be honest, 18 is young in this day and age, and 17 is even younger, but at the same time, I think it's a matter of maturity, it's a matter of who this person is you're marrying, it's a matter of what you need at what time in your life. A lot of people just act like it's such a bad thing for young people to want to get married instead of committing zina or being in uncomfortable situations where they can't live their life or whatever it may be. Like, I don't see why everybody acts like, oh, getting married is just going to kill you if you get married below a certain age or above a certain age even. A lot of the arguments against people getting married at a younger age is you don't know who you are, you haven't even gone through, you know, all the changes that you need to go through to somehow be ready to, you know, be with another person in that way. To an extent, I can understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I feel like if you're mature enough, you're going to be able to grow in your relationship without problems if that's what you know you want and that's who you know you want, and that person is a person who accepts your growth and encourages it as they grow as well. So it's not a matter of age. People who get married when they are much older still fail at marriage. It's more of who you are as a person, and if you're even mature enough. You could be 28. I don't know why I said 28, like that's like that's so specific. Why do I say 28? Anyway, you could be 28, you could be 30, and you could be just getting married, but you may not be mature enough for marriage yet. And still, just because one, you may be a selfish person who isn't able to give the way you need to give in a marriage, or two, you may not be a person who's capable of, you know, caring so much about another person other than yourself. Like, it really doesn't come down to, oh, you're 17, you're 18, you're 19, you're 20, you're too young. You are not capable of being in a relationship because of the number of your age. Like, you're not. You've only been alive 18 years. There are some 18-year-olds who've been through so much, who have had to grow up so quick, who are just naturally more mature than their fellow counterparts of the same age. Like, some people can handle what you're saying. You're trying to convince them they can't handle just because they are of a certain age. And that just kind of, that's upsetting, because you're discouraging this person from something that could be good for them. You're discouraging them because you personally think that their age determines who they are at that time. And of course, you know, I'm 19, and I haven't been alive that long. I'm still very young. I still have a lot of my life to go, inshallah. There are some things that I know I'm not ready to handle right now, and there are some things that I know that if they come my way, inshallah, Allah will prepare me for that. And I know there are certain things that I just have to learn along the way. Like, people always say you have to be prepared for this and that and this and that when it comes to doing anything, when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to getting married, when it comes to anything new in life. Of course, you would like to be prepared for all these things. You would like to be ahead of the curve. You would like to be, you know, on your P's and Q's. But the reality of the situation, you're not going to know what it is till you get into it. That's just, you can read a guidebook on whatever that situation is, but you're not going to understand it. You're not going to get it until you're in the thick of it. And that's just the truth. Like, no one can really tell you how you're going to react to being in certain situations. It depends on who you are, your mental stability, what you are and aren't ready for mentally and physically. Like, it just depends. It's not an age to age thing when it comes to marriage. It's a person to person thing. There are some 17-year-olds who still don't know how to make their breakfast in the morning or get up for school on their own. And there are some 17-year-olds who are, you know, excelling in their education and ahead of everyone in these things. Why shouldn't they be able to get married if that's what they feel like they're ready for, and if that's what they feel like will protect them from sinning and will keep them in the good graces of their Lord? Like, why not? Why are you discouraging something that Allah has told us is good for us? Like, why? I don't, maybe I'm crazy. Like, maybe I'm crazy for getting married at 17. I don't think so, because mashallah, I've had the time of my life since I've gotten married, and I love, you know, even the rough parts of it. I look back and I'm like, wow, we handled that really well, or I handled that really well, or I see ways that I understand that there are ways that I could be better and I can improve. And that's part of, you know, doing anything. You have to understand your flaws, and you have to be able to evaluate another person to figure out how you should be with them, how you should interact with them. If you're not able to evaluate situations and take something from it to improve yourself, maybe you aren't ready to get married. But it's more about what you are and aren't mentally ready for. And I think there are a lot of young people, young Muslim people, who are held back from what they know they want and what they know they're ready for. Even if you're not ready, you know, at least you tried it. At least you knew, okay, this is something that I need to learn more about. This is something I need to learn, or it even teaches you, you need to learn more about yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with going into a situation if you feel confident, and if you feel ready, and if you've made dua on it, and if you've made istikhara on it, and you feel, you know, compelled to go down this path. Who is anyone to discourage someone from embracing the good in life? Like, I just don't think people should be so quick to discourage young people, you know, 18, 17, 19, 20, whatever you may be. I don't think people should discourage you based on their own about life. Like, you know, your life isn't going to be like this person's life. Your mistakes aren't going to be like this person's mistakes. Everybody goes through their own process. Everybody has to figure out what is right for them and what is wrong for them. And I think instead of discouraging young Muslims to get married at particular ages, I think people should give more advice on what you feel like you should know about yourself before you decide to start giving parts of yourself to someone else. How about we discuss that? Or just more self-help advice than anything, and interact with these young Muslims who want to get married in a way that shows them that if you're this, and this, you might be ready for this. Or if you're still working on this, and this, you may not be ready for this. Like, be more explanatory. I don't know if that's the right word. Explain more and stop discouraging. Stop being a discouragement. Okay? This person has to figure it out for themselves. And I'd also like to give a shout out to all those parents out there who are discouraging their children from getting married for very dumb reasons. Like, please stop. Because some of y'all kids really may need to get married. I don't think you should hold them back just because you have certain expectations of your kids, or you want them to reach a certain point in life. They have to figure out for themselves what they need from life, what they need from this life, in order, inshallah, to get to the next. You can only take them but so far. You can't control them after they reach an age where they are supposed to be deciding things for themselves. Let go and let them live, and inshallah, if they mess up, they'll come back to you and they'll learn from it. I just, I don't know, maybe I'm a free spirit and I just, I'm more open to certain ideas, but I don't think it's about the number. I think it's about your mentality. And me personally, I've always kind of been more of a mature kid. I mean, my humor is very childish. I'll tell you that. But I've been more of a on the mature side, or so I've been told. It's in my interests, who I hang out with, what I want. Like, it depends on the person, it depends on how you're raised, it depends on where you're from. I mean, so stop trying to bring people down for what they believe they want in life, and try to direct them in a better path towards what they want. I think that's better than being discouraging and perhaps even leading someone to commit sin just because of your personal preference. If you feel like you're not ready to get married until you're 27 or 30 or whatever, that's wonderful. That's your personal choice. That's how you feel. Go with the flow. Figure out what works for you, but don't push your ideas on other people. That's all I'm saying. And as a person who is currently 19 and married for 2 years, I think, there's so many possibilities as far as, young marriage, especially if, family members are open to it and open to encouraging you and giving you advice and helping you build upwards in your relationship, instead of being nosy and being rude and disrespectful to either person in the relationship, or being discouraging. Build up these young relationships, guide them through their younger stages in their marriage, but don't get in their business. Just help them reach a point where they know how to navigate their lives better. Well, that's all I really wanted to say, and yeah, this is more of a rambly, ranty type video, and I hope I made any sense at all. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my rambling, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Even though I'm sick, still trying to post. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, see you guys later. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.